Fly without a boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to your instant match reaction of West Brom 0, Leeds United 0. I think that's it. I think that's all we can say in it, Jess, on this one, I'm afraid.
Clean sheet, dross game. We move.
And how are you, Renee, my lovely?
I've been better. How about you, Stu?
Yeah. Pascal Stroke got man at match. Is that another positive?
It's just a really low bar now, you know?
Says it all when defender gets a man at match, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. There was nothing going on offensively. So, yeah, you know, clean sheet, I guess that's a positive. We didn't get absolutely humiliated. That's a positive. But that's the end of the positives, you know?
Yes, how many shots on goal with on target each team has?
One on each. Big up Yusuf. Yeah, one on each.
Saves one on each.
West Brom weren't that good neither, though, to be fair, Stu. But they were there for taking him. Leeds offered nothing in that final third, did they? You couldn't see him scoring, let's be honest. But don't worry, Harrison's here to save the day. Don't worry.
Hi everyone. Well, another game showed how desperate we are in players. Yep, couldn't agree more with that statement. Kels, Perot shouldn't have started. Problem is, though, if we don't start Perot, who do you start? Aronson? He didn't do what when he come on either. We need attacking options. Pascal must deserve the man at match. I don't know what to say, Jess. Well, the performance were awful. It was like watching paint. I would have rather have watched paint dry. Honestly, it was that poor from both teams, like you said, Jess. Both teams.
I think, look, West Brom didn't offer nothing. I'm not going to say they did, but they were solid at back. Built like brick shit houses, to be blunt. But we played for that draw. Big up Yusuf. That's the thing. We're set up for the draw anyway. Let's just go to West Brom, get a draw, and then see what we do next week. But the games are coming thick and fast, too. Sheffield Wednesday, Hull. They're not easy games. Burnley.
Do you think that will one of the easier games going forward, Jess?
Well, the two easier games were Portsmouth and West Brom, weren't they, Stu? Sheffield Wednesday on a bit of a decent one with Danny Rowe. Hull are doing bits in transfer window. Then you've got Burnley. They're not easy games, Stu. No game's easy in the Championship. And if you're not going to recruit and you're going with that squad and with Perot and that, it's going to be a difficult season for Leeds. Let's say it as it is.
He needs help, Jess.
They look dishevelled, don't they? They just look lost at the minute. They look lost in the final third. Wilfred Gnonto looked, lost. It was a tough watch, that game, to be quite honest with you.
And dare I say it, Rennie, Gnonto isn't a replacement for Somerville, and Bogle isn't a replacement for Archie Gray.
No, I mean, at this point, this squad that we've got left, that's definitely not an auto promotion squad. I mean, there's just no way. That's not even a playoff squad there. It's just not.
No, you get 5 or 6 games this season where you're off form. Not a great game, but your centre half is a rock, and props up with a header. Pops up with a header and you win it 1-0. Didn't quite happen, but Brendan is not an inside less stupid playing him there. I think Farker's limited with his options, Scooby. I really do.
Yeah. What has he got? There's just, I don't know.
Alexander, we have 13th in table.
So we're 13th in table as it stands. Wow, not great, is it? It's not great. We need 3 players. We need 3 points, not 1 point. I agree with Leeds Angels. I do. I think the point would have been good if we'd have beat Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And I feel we had to work hard for that point. That's the sad,
Right.
you know.
Agreed.
Can't see us getting any more points from them games.
No, and I mean that was a slog today.
Where's this creativity coming from in that team? Who's the creative spark in that team? What we saw today? Nonto, would you say? And he will look at a stay on pitch. I mean, I know he caught, but no, Firpo won it. Firpo caught him in head. Even Firpo looked a bit off sorts today. He did.
All the come by age. Believe it will be Strike.
You can't argue with that, Lee.
Because Strike makes 3 headers.
How do you think Tampadu did, ladies?
He looked a bit shaky, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean it was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular, you know. It was okay. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here if we don't start picking up players quickly. We hear nothing from the ownership group, so we have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I don't. What's that going to accomplish? Sacking Farka. What's that going to accomplish?
I know it's mad. It's crazy. It's crazy. Can't blame Farka for contracts because he wasn't even here at the time. You know, and even if he was, that ain't a manager's job to deal with contracts. It's not.
As we said before, Stu.
Is the tactics. But I'm not going to criticise his tactics because he's just got nothing else to use. He's got nothing. He's got no tools. You know, it's like sending a bricklayer on a job without his tools. How's he supposed to do the job?
Agreed.
Or a plumber without his spanner. Do you know what I mean, Jess?
He can only work with what's in front of him, Stuart, end of the day. People that call him out to be sacked, it's just wild, isn't it?
Absolutely. I didn't mind them keeping it solid. I was happy with the I've fallen over. Let's wait sometime towards the end. Quite annoyed Perot missed that chance from Joseph's pass to best chance of the game. I mean, he didn't even direct it on goal. It was weird. It was weird how he directed that ball. Non-existent play for 90 minutes his season. Big up, David. Don't we do him well, mate?
Big up, David.
How can we replace players sold? No chance. And David's
Agreed.
normally pretty positive, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because it's even sapped the life out of him. Look, Stu, you're never going to find those replacements. Let's be real with it. Archie Gray, people said he was replaceable. Or I think he's irreplaceable, in my opinion. Somerville, you're not going to get the 19 goals and assists. Rutter, you're not going to get the 18 assists, sorry. You can't replace that. It's irreplaceable. But for me, Stu, the 49ers should look at that and say, look, we need to pull his finger out of his ass, basically, and get some signings over that line. Because if they make a statement signing, that might just edge it. But I don't see Jack Clark. I don't see that happening at 25 million, Stu. I think that's somebody gassing it up on channels because they're credible, because they've got 30,000 subs. But I just don't see Leeds doing that, in my opinion. I'd be very shocked to see him going for him.
And if we did go in for him, Jess, what if we bid to it like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million? Sunderland are just going to laugh at us.
Look, Stu, Joby Bellingham, there were a lot of interest with him, and they've just given him a new contract. So all that'll encourage Sunderland to do is offer Jack Clark a new contract. And Sunderland, they're a decent team. They'll be looking at going up this season as well. They're no mugs. They're like us. They should be in Premiership, Sunderland. They're a decent side. So they aren't going to want to be selling to Leeds, who's one of their promotion rivals, Stu. They're not. Not even if you put Perot in that sweetener. No, I don't think so.
And who's to say Jack Clark even wants to come back to Leeds after the way we treated him?
Exactly. And Sunderland will know that Tottenham are due, and they got so much percentage in that as well as a sell-on. Yeah, 40%.
Which is, so if they sold him for 10 million, they're only going to get 6.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense, does it? It just doesn't make sense.
Not at all, no. Big up Bluebird.
Didn't go today.
That's not like David. That's not like David at all. And we've got Sheffield Wednesday to come. We're decent.
Sorry if this sounds snotty, but to all those who didn't think Rutter was the player of the season and would rather have lost him than Somerville, well, look, Scooby, I'll answer you back on that. I think losing both them players are irreplaceable. Somerville and Rutter. I do. If you look at Jonathan Rowe's stats to Somerville's, he doesn't even come close to him. Big up, Daniel.
Big up, Daniel.
We all look as though we've lost this lottery ticket. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, we have Leeds Angels. We've lost as prize assets. We've lost more than what a lottery win that gets you. The 49ers have done well out of it, but we haven't.
Dan James looked off it today, though, Stewie, as well. Didn't look himself.
No, yeah, he doesn't have those offensive opportunities anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. To break them balls to break him through, to release him, there's nothing there, is there?
Exactly.
No one can pick a pass. They looked, there were nobody winning second balls. There were nobody pressing. They were very sloppy in playing. They were lucky, really. If they would have come up against a better team, something like Burnley or somebody, they would have lost. West Brom were as poor as us, and that's the reason why it was a 0-0. Simple as. Big up, Zilla.
Hello.
We haven't lost yet. That's something.
But 2 draws, that's 4. That's what is it? That's 4 points dropped already. Can't afford to be scratching his ass now and clawing it back. I want to be looking down the table, not looking up that table. I think that's what we're going to be doing all season, looking up that table, to be quite honest.
I feel like we're fortunate right now to have 2 points. And this is a really sad state of affairs.
See, I can't hear it, but Daniel Farker's doing his Sky press conference work both match, and it does. I don't even think he's looking himself, Jess.
Don, it's not about crying. It's about trying to figure out where this group's going to go from here.
I don't think the 49. I don't think we've got the cash to splash, if I'm honest.
They've not signaled that they're going to do that.
Did the goalkeeper's shorts get dirty? No, he only the save he made. He caught it, didn't he? He caught it. He didn't even have to get. He didn't have to get his knees dirty. Leeds Angels. Apparently, accounts get published in January. Until then, nobody really knows. Where is the Red Bull money? That's another pipe dream and another lie we got told, I'm afraid.
I think that one gassed up more than it actually was, Stu. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course it was. Of course it was. Again, no, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's the thing is, right, and this is gospel and it's truth. We can't really us so-called YouTubers who do content, right? And I'm including myself in this, Jess, and you and everyone else. It's very hard to do content when you aren't getting told anything.
Indeed.
Very hard, and not even a journalist are getting told anything. I mean, I feel for that Nancy Forson. I feel for her because she's coming to a job, took over big shoes to fill, and she ain't even getting scraps, Jess.
Well, she didn't even break the Rutter deal, did she? Let's be frank. She didn't even break the Rutter deal. You know what I'm saying? So she's not even breaking that, and then everybody's giving her shit because she's a woman and all this. It's a bit wild, isn't it? To be fair, and nobody's crying, Dom. They've gone. We know that, but we're just saying what a gap that fills in Leeds' team. Nobody's crying.
Just being honest by saying that at this moment in time, with the players we've got and the squad we've got and the team we've got, and what we've witnessed for the last 3 games, it's definitely not the best squad in the league. It's definitely not a team where you fill with confidence of getting automatic promotion. It's just not. And I think I'll be honest with you. I think we're going to struggle to even make playoffs. Never mind automatic.
I don't see playoffs coming, Stu. If this is what we have to work with, we'll be fortunate to be mid-table. You know.
Didn't see the game get a draw.
I went 2-2 in my prediction.
Farke talks more on the TV than at the place.
She's right though. You don't see him ever get up and bark orders about these, Stu. He's a very reserved manager, if all. Sorry, but I'm going to go 4-1 City, mate. Sorry, Blueboard. We are covering that game in Stewie tomorrow. But yeah, 4-1 City, I think that'll be good.
Our fullback stayed back, Daniel, and we played 2 defensive midfielders plus the 2 fullbacks got a lot of help from the player in front of them. So we never really got a grip on the game.
Leeds Angels. Big up Ryan G.
Big up Ryan, mate. Hope you're doing well. We were poor, Chris. It's straightforward, doing it? It's a straightforward answer. We were poor. We really were. Said last night, it'll be no walk in the park.
I think we were down with that though. We were all down with that. Tough place to go is West Brom. And when you've lost all your best players.
But not many chances. If you look at the possession, Scooby, they had 57%, we had 43%. But at some point in that game, I think we had something like 20%. They had 80%. It was crazy. Hi Ryan, thanks for that too. Nobody's Scooby. Hey, Bluebird, no problem, mate. Hope he does well for you, Bluebird. Scooby, yeah, I was working, mate, so I did not see the game, so the defence needed that extra protection. And when you're giving your defence extra protection, you're taking away your attacking.
Exactly. we can pull everybody back and park the bus and get a clean sheet, and I guess that's great, but that doesn't put points on the board, and that's not a winning season. That's
Yeah,
a surviving season.
I don't think any team's won by parking bus all season. Promotion, Rennie.
Big up, Eddie.
West Brom and Leeds are like.
Stu, what's Leeds' next 5 fixtures? We've got Sheffield Wednesday, Hull. Have a look.
They all look and they all get through some comments.
Sheffield Wednesday, Hull, Burnley, Cardiff, Coventry.
Coventry.
And then Norwich.
Ooh, they're tough games, Stu.
When I got these like for per ways versus today.
Play ratings on Leeds Live, yeah, go on.
Wednesday, a 7.
Messley got a 7. He only had to make one save.
Joe Wardle, a 7.
Rodon got a 7 as well.
You get one. Strike, a 7.
So Strike got a 7 as well as Rodon.
Yep. Fairport, a 7.
Super.
Arpadu, a 7.
Where's the best one?
James, a 5.
Right.
Alright, then I'll start.
Joe, a 4.
Joe Pro got 4.
I'll let her know, yeah.
Joshua, 5.
Fernando got 5. Great.
Joseph, a 4.
Joseph got a 4 as well.
Joe Waffle, a 6.
Yeah, well, he come on as a sub, didn't he? Half an hour ago.
Bananas, a 6.
So they give for Joseph a 4. 4, you said?
Joe, yeah, 4.
4 out of 10 for Joseph. But this is the guy who was supposed to be the one who gets all the goals, Jess.
I think he'll struggle, Stu. I think it's going to be a tough season for Joseph. I really do think Leeds need to go out and get a proper number 9, Stu, but I just can't see it. And the 3 we've got, I think it's going to be a real struggle. One, the formation doesn't suit. Bamford's it and Mason injury prone. And I think it's a lot of weight to put on a 19-year-old's shoulder. It's tough.
Jess.
It's tough. It's really tough season. Honest, you.
And another thing, what's concerning me, Jess, right? If Rothwell's supposed to be this player, what everyone thinks he is, why is he not starting games? Why is Farker, knowing that we're struggling on pitch, still using him as a sub if he's that good? I think he was brought in to be a squad player.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? He's brought in to be a squad player. I don't see him really dislodging Gruev or Ampadu, if I'm honest. I really don't.
And Gore's got.
Big up, Blessed. Hope you're doing well.
Gore's got a 6.
Gruev got 6.
It's just there's no attacking flair there, is there, Stu? You can't see anybody in that team other than Dan James really passing 10 goals. Can you see Matteo Joseph doing a 15 to 20 goal scoring season, Stu, in Championship? If you're really honest,
I think he'll struggle to get 10 to 15. Never mind 15 to 20.
I think Perot's the same. Like he will struggle to get goals for us. I just don't know. And Bamford, it's such a. We've lost so much attacking flair out of that team that at the minute it's so stale. And I said that when we were live on my watch along. It's very stale. It's like, that final third, they just don't know what to do. And when you're a striker, Stu, you rely on the wingers to give you service. If you're not getting any service, you can't score goals, Stu. It's simple as that. And if, Leeds do not go out and recruit and replace, well, I say replace, bring in adequate replacements for Somerville and Rutter, it's going to be a long season for Leeds United this season because where's that attacking flair coming from? You know Crew ain't going to start many games. He's going to be on bench. Rothwell seems to be the same. Probably Bamford same. You're putting too much on a 19-year-old kid. So why not use that loan market and strengthen Stu? It's such dross to watch. It's hard.
What did you say about Bamford? He's not a player to bring off the bench.
He's not an impact
He's not doing
substitute,
that.
Stuart. In my opinion, he's not. He needs at least half an hour to get in a game. You know what I'm saying? Farker, other than today, what did he bring him on for 12 minutes? Bamford ain't going to do out in 12 minutes for you. He's not. He's not. Wilfred Nonto, again, it's a miss today. Little bits, but the petulance was still there. Dan James struggled today. If they can't see what we can see as YouTubers or people that think, because we're not big enough up the YouTube syndicate because we're small, but we speak sense. And, that team is not good enough to get promoted, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean, Stu?
I do.
And if you're saying Leeds United are promotion favourites, if the bookies on those two performances and Middlesbrough, they've been poor. Portsmouth we got out of jail, let's face it. Iffy penalty, Aronson scores and misses an absolute sitter. Middlesbrough, we were absolutely run off the park. Today, West Brom were just as poor as Leeds United, and that is why we walked away with a point. If we'd have been up against a better team with attacking flair, we'd have probably lost that game. It's we've gone to West Brom and basically played for the draw. That's what you can tell. There were nothing, And when your defenders getting the man of the match accolade, because there's nowhere else that they could give it to. Because it were poor. There's no point gassing it up and saying it were fucking fantastic and all this, Benny, because it won't. Some people might.
And the thing is, I think the 11 that you saw start are the starters. I don't think he was holding anything back. I think that's the best he could field is what you saw start. That's it. There's no one else to come in. There's no one he's holding back. That's it.
Agreed. I agree with you, Renner. And if you're banking on Wilfred Nonto replacing Crysencio Somerville, you're fucking dreaming. Because it ain't going to happen. They are two different, totally different players. I give Cray one thing, kept it shut, and he worked on his game for 90 minutes when he played, and he worked hard. Wilfred Nonto still can't help it with that. Exactly. And he's not good enough to replace Crysencio Somerville, in my humble opinion.
A lot of fans are going to say we need players like this, but Ampadu with his silly bloody late challenges and stuff like that, I think it doesn't look great. It really doesn't. But people say you need that sort of a player in your team.
And Scobie just said that. He had no service, Joseph. What did you want him to do? I said that. When you're saying that, I have to disagree about Kels. I was going to say because he had no service, how do you expect him to score? He can only score if he's getting provided with chances, and he were provided with absolutely nothing today. So what can Joseph feed off? Come on. It's like, your attack is as good as your defence. Defence is good as your attack. And if you've got no creativity to offer, Joseph, how can that lad score? It's very frustrating for him. A striker wants business end of it, they want to be getting chances to feed off. And it is 4 points dropped so far, Leeds Angels, you're right. And out of the games that we've got, you look, if they were probably two that we should have won. Sheffield Wednesday won't be no mean feat on Friday. Hull, Burnley, Norwich, Coventry. They're tough games for Leeds.
I think you've been a bit harsh on Farker there, Villa. He can't help
Who is then? Who is good enough then, Villa? You name me a manager that's going to drop down to the Championship and take over Leeds United. And be realistic. Don't say to me Graham Potter all like that because they ain't going to jump down.
We can't afford their wages.
Nah. Ain't going to happen. That is true, undefeated, but we lost on Wednesday, didn't we? So we're not undefeated, really. But took a clean sheet and with that team, yeah, I suppose we're lucky to get a point. But we need to shake asses now and get some transfers over the line, Stu. It has to be done. Because I can see more outgoings than incomings, Stu, if you want me to be totally honest with you.
They've got to bring a player in before this Friday's game.
Agreed. Sheffield United have just scored as well, 1-0.
Wow.
You look at Sheffield United now. If we'd have got somebody like Keffer Moore, for example, Stu, £2 million, proven goal scorer in the Championship. Why didn't we move for him? You know, Samodic's £10 million, cheap, big up Arvinder. Why aren't we buying anyone like this? Now, Rose gone all of a sudden quiet. Annit, let's be frank, Stu. So where are we? Who are we getting then? I don't think we get Jack Clark.
I don't either. I don't think. Look, and I'm not don't touch from wages, right? But if we're going to spend £25 million on Jack Clark, I'd rather that money go somewhere, you know, to get a couple of half decent players at 10 million each, rather than one player for 25 million and blow its budget.
I wouldn't mind Morgan Whittaker, Stu, at Plymouth. I think he's decent.
About 10 million or something.
10 million, yeah. You know, if you're butchering over Rowe, for example, let's get him over that line then, Whittaker. You know, Liverpool have got some really good, decent players at youth level coming through that we watched in America. I mean, I know you only did one at watch alongs with me, but there's some really, you know, Enyoni, for example. It would be absolutely fantastic for Leeds if you could get him on loan for the season. Oh, he's done all bits in pre-season. It'd be good for him. And he's only 16, but he's quality, Stu. He's even training with first team now. That'd be a nice player to get over that line. If Leeds, but the problem there you go against you is, can Leeds offer him game time? Because Daniel Farke seems to be very set in his ways regarding who he brings in. For example, Rothwell. At the time he signed, do you think he thought he was going to be a squad player? Probably not.
We desperately need a new number 9. Joseph is not the answer. Bamford is hopeless. The minute he gets steps onto the pitch. Even some content creators are now noticing.
Yeah, but we've always said about Bamford, Kells, and me and Stu have always said that. He's not the answer. He's not good enough. We know that. But unfortunately, Kells, and let's be real with it, that's who we're going to have, and Joseph and Perot. I don't see Leeds going out and get a number 9. They might get a couple of attackers and maybe a defender. Big up Whitesnakes. I just don't see him going out and getting a number 9. I really don't. I don't know about Rene, but I just don't. What we need and what we get are two totally different things, in my opinion.
I agree. It's not an area Farke's looking to strengthen, is it? He's not. Farke's not daft. Farke knows that he needs 4 or 5 players, but he'll realistically know that I might only be able to get 3 at a push, and one of them will be a lone player. So he's not going to risk it. He's not going to risk bringing in another number 9.
Stu, if you look at the money, right, for Leeds, they've made the most money in Europe, Leeds United, right? You've had the Red Bull deal go through it. Muted 60 million, that money, nowhere to be seen. You've just sold Rutte. You've just sold Crescencio Somerville. You've sold Kamara. You've sold Cresswell. You've sold Archie Gray. You've got Clarkson was sold as well. And then they've let Cooper go, Early go out. So that's more wages off. They brought Cairns in. He's there just as a makeshift, is Cairns. We don't even talk about Cairns because I don't ever see him starting for Leeds. Rothwell, he's going to be a squad player. Rodon, we already had last season. And Bogle at right back. That's it. So in the expenditure and the incomings, it don't balance, does it, Rennie? Because if we've made 132 million and there's 60 million from Red Bull, that's the 192 million that Leeds were muted to having debt. In my opinion, that's where I think that money's gone. But we said this months ago about the financial situation of Leeds United, and people called us the out and said, well, we're daft.
Yeah, I know. And Burnley have gone 1-0 up. We're an own goal, but they're 1-0 up. So
Sheffield United are 1-0 up.
They'll go to 6 points. So we're 4 points behind them already.
Them two, I've got them two teams are stronger squads than Leeds United.
Oh yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. Yeah.
Actually, James, I think Nanto will be there because they've already made it clear he does not have a release clause. So I think Nanto actually will be there. Now the question becomes, is he going to be petulant to the point where he's unplayable, which I can see that happening because he throws a fit because he can't get out. You know, and then I see him ending up playing with the under 21s for a while for an attitude adjustment. The problem is Nanto's an attitude problem. But no, they're not going to let him go. They've made that clear. That's the one player that seems to be the line in the sand is Nanto.
Let's face it, if they sold, Cream must have had a buyout clause, Rutten had a buyout clause, and Archie Gray had a buyout clause, and maybe even Kamara, right? But they've rejected offers for Wilfried Gnonto between 23 and 25 million pounds. So if they can afford to reject that but accept offers elsewhere, that tells you that they are keeping Wilfried Gnonto, in my opinion.
Do you think if Everton come back in for 30
he's
million,
not going anywhere.
Do you think they'll reject that as well?
It depends then on the player. I think if that came in, that 30 million pound. Go on, Renner.
I don't know. I just don't think they're going to let him go. I think for some reason they've made it clear, like with what we went through last year, he's not going. He's not going.
I think if an offer come in for too good to refuse for Leeds, Rennie, I think they'd sell him. But do you know, in my opinion, I think Wilfried Gnonto's gassed up a bit too much. I don't think he's as good as what we actually think. I think he's too far gassed up.
Yeah, he's not as good as he thinks he is. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, agreed.
Would you take Dendoncker? I don't know a lot about him. He's a tall. I know he's a tall player, isn't he? He's a striker. He's a tall striker. I don't know. I don't know much about him, Villa. To be honest with you, mate, I really don't.
If they've dropped down to Championship, I know what you're on about with Dendoncker. I know what you mean. I don't seem to stepping down to Leeds, and especially with Leeds is this game time problem. I think that's what puts a lot of players off coming to Leeds.
Is Farker? Is Farker a too stubborn with his team selection, Jess? Has he got his favourites? Is he willing to?
I think he's got to predict like last season. It was very predictable who he'd play, and I think this season, unless somebody comes in of real quality for Leeds, it'll be the more or less that same team you see. In my opinion, if they don't recruit, that's who will start every single game for Leeds. And even if they do bring players in, he's very stubborn with what he'll change unless it's a real good replacement for Rutter and Cray. And the attitude's bang on, like he says, and the work rate and the philosophy's right, then they'll play. But he is very stubborn. And I think he's a yes man, Farks. He reminds me a little bit of Gareth Southgate. That he'll, like, even in that press conference, he was still, 100% 49ers, this, that, and other. I think he is a yes man. He does as he's told. If he wants a player, for example, Rowe, he knows what Rowe's worth. He's one Norwich manager. Leeds will give him a staple price of, say, £7 million, and that's it. If they're that desperate to get him, Stu, they'd have got him over the line by now. They knew Rutter were going to go. They knew about that clause in his contract that it finished at midnight on Thursday. They should have done so much, Stu. They should have done business well earlier. They should have got it over the line. They knew Somerville were going to go to West Ham. Why hadn't they brought a replacement in then as soon as that were happening when he were injured? They knew we were going. You can't. What is it now? 17th of August, and there's 13, 14 days to go, and Leeds are scratching their arse. I don't think so, mate, because they had one shot. They had one shot each, Villa. So I don't think West Brom deserved to win that game at all. It was a poor game on both teams. Sheffield United 2-0 up now. Stu Kether more. Rest my case.
Hamer and Moore, what a strike force that is.
And Leeds are promotion favourites. But
You guys
calling
should
for
have
Daniel
thought-
Farker to should have got cooked. Oh, no. Oh, mate,
He
it's
wouldn't
not
have
Daniel
come. He
Farker's
wouldn't have come
fault,
to Leeds. He wouldn't have come to Leeds.
and it's not Daniel Farker's fault either that he's had the rug pulled underneath him with all these buyout clauses. He can only put out what's in front of him as well, mate. To be blunt, you know, I feel sorry for Farker.
I do too.
It's so easy, though, isn't it? It's so easy to say, Farker out, this player's shit, this player's shit, this player's shit. But the problem is, it's not. You not only have you got to replace him, but you've got to find a club for him to go to. And it's just it's so easy to say it, but to actually deal with it is a bit difficult. And Farker for me, he deserves time. He deserves time. He deserved last season because of what happened to him. He deserves time again this season because of what's happened to him.
I told you I'll judge it at Christmas, mate, Stewie, if he's still there.
If he doesn't have a good August,
I think there's no question that if Vober has a chance to take off, he will. I think there's no question that if Aronson had a chance to take off, he would. But I don't see them letting Nanto go. They're not going to do it because Nanto doesn't have a release clause. But we know the other two do. Vober's got one. Aronson's got one. They would not be here if they had any other options. I can guarantee that.
See, it's so hard because I was going to say that with the film with Verber and Aronson, no one's coming for him. But we don't know if they have because the 49ers aren't selling us.
I don't see any. Do you really see anybody coming for those two? Given what we've seen?
No.
No. I think they stay, actually, to be quite honest with you.
And they're the two players you'd want to go, wouldn't you? You'd want to keep a decent player and let them two go. You know, we seem to do it halfway round. We have three fast players, none who them are actually really played on a shoulder to break. We try to keep the clean sheet and maybe nick it from a set piece. Which, to be fair, we nearly did. I bet you're four. I bet you're four. I bet we're four front. Bet you were four front bottom. Hi, and I. That's I'm expecting us to drop. Yes, Lee. Sunderland are winning 2-0. Yeah, keep them on. There's nothing else we can talk about through this game. There's nothing else, is there, Jess, really?
No, but then we need to dramatically bring in some players. We take a positive out with a clean sheet and we've got a point from it, but we need to kick on from here now. Really be active in that window and get some players in. I do.
You need to get Rowe. I don't know if we
Big
were
up,
going to
Jamie.
get Rowe, we would have had him by now. To me, it's about saving the season now. You see what I mean? This is, and Daniel, you know, I love you, but this is an outsider looking in. So he's got no, you know, no ties to Leeds, and he's saying it's about saving your season this season now. It's so, and that's what we're all thinking, Daniel. What you're saying is what we're all thinking. Some people will be frightened to come out and say it, but we do. You know, we can live in hope. We can all live in hope, but if you want reality, that's exactly what it's going to be. Salvage season. Don't want to spend a money Villa. If I could sacked by end of October, I think Dean Smith would do a brilliant job for you guys. That's the name I'm being linked to Leeds Villa.
The name that's being linked with Leeds, in it, if he goes, is David Moyes.
What would you take him, Jess? If look, if you're saying to me now Farker or Moyes, I'm sticking with Farker. But if Farker does get sacked, would you take Moyes?
He's experienced too, I will say that. He's won West Ham a trophy. But I don't want that sacked. I won't lie. But if that was to happen and Moyes come in, there'd be no complaints from me in that respect. But I do hope Daniel Farke sees it out for the season. I do.
Do you really think Moyes would get a different tune out of this group of players?
No.
His tactics, no.
That's the thing.
No, and he won't put up in Nonto. If Nonto were petulant on pitch like that, he wouldn't even pick him.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even pick him. He had Mikel Antonio, who was his leading goal scorer, throw a wobbler. He dropped him from squad. He just dropped him.
Oh, no,
Norwich are losing. Blackburn are winning 1-0. Wow. Farke is too stubborn. Southgate most probably is a championship manager. Oh God! If that
I'd rather
happens,
keep
I'm
that.
doing any watch-alongs. Ooh, I couldn't watch him. I'm actually watching for Southgate for a full season. Bad enough watching him for 8 games in a tournament. Scaballo keeps getting mentioned a lot, right? I say a lot, but in between, right? I don't think we should go back for Scaballo neither.
No.
They're saying that his first game he got that draw against Man United. I call that a manager bounce. And then it went wrong again.
Agreed.
Yeah, Wickham are beating Birmingham.
Danilo's gone off with a bad injury for Nottingham Forest and all.
Ouch.
It's bad
Yes,
as
but
well.
not so there's 4 good players. I think Anto will end up at Everton or in the Italian league. Look, everyone thinks that Nanto's going to go. I don't think we can afford to lose Nanto anyway. I know he's petulant, and I just don't think the 49ers can be seen to lose him as well.
That's not going to happen.
I think he stays.
You think he stays?
Mm.
Who thinks he stays?
I know.
You're selling the 49ers have got nowhere to hang.
No. If you sell Nonto, we can play Nonto.
We can't even find a replacement for some of them.
Exactly.
We haven't bought a player in 29 days, 28 days or something. It's something like that was last time we bought a player.
Yeah, and no news about what's here. You've prepared what's here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Kels. I think we all are. He gets overhyped by Leeds fan base. He does. Well, it will. We've decided, will it has a bad attitude? Then why do folks want Rowe, who's training with the under-21s? It's a good point, Scooby. It's a good point. If you're willing to drop your tools for a club where you've been most of your career, he's got a bad attitude and all. You should be biting their hands off. He's not worth £25 million. I'm assuming he means for Jack Clark.
No, he's talking about
Chris Wood's
Nonto.
just scored for Forest.
Has it?
Yeah.
Thanks, love. Farke is the English Southgate. So who are you playing instead of Rutter then?
Hero.
Rowe.
And then Aaron's
Rowe and then Anderson. Left everything too late.
exactly.
Bad planning to buy club. That's on
Yeah.
club. Is that Allison?
The great players, the outstanding players, they've already been snapped up. So then you're already looking at who's left, and then who can you get at the very end? And they think that they're going to do some kind of Moneyball situation and something really clever, and it's just not going to happen.
All we're going to get is the young sweep ups, what are left, all crumbs, what are
Exactly.
left.
Young kids. So then you're looking again at a situation where nobody has any experience. when it gets tough, you have no voice or reason in the dressing room. It's the same shit as last season. Except you've
can't
lost all
argue
the
with you.
talent that you had. All
I
that's
can't
gone.
argue with you, Renee. I
Bunch of little
can't
kids
debate
left.
it neither. Arsenal are one of the Kai Havertz.
And Allison, we had to work hard for that.
We did. Pro, who's number 10 should have been Brandon. Brandon is half the player Rutter is, and the number 10 on the right. And Perot is half the player. Brendan is at number 10.
Everton losing.
Yeah, Everton are losing 1-0 to Brighton. That McDonald score.
Good. I would like to see Everton get relegated.
Unfortunately, Leeds Angels, yeah, because the 49ers aren't going to sack themselves, and if the fans are going to get on the backs, it's first one. Normally, manager the one who gets the bullet, isn't it?
I'm not so sure. And the only reason that I say that is because I don't know a lot of managers who would be willing to put up with what he's having to put up with these relegation release clauses and nobody, not willing to buy any players. I mean, a lot of managers are not going to put up with that. They just won't. They would say no. So I'm not so sure that the 49ers are going to be so quick to fire Farka. I really don't. Because a lot of managers are just not going to put up with this. And Farka's been very patient with this management group.
I tell you as well what I've been hearing, and I don't agree to it, boycotting games. I don't know why you'd boycott watching your team play and watching manager if it isn't his fault or their fault.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it as you'll damage the ownership group, if you've already bought your season ticket, you've already given them the money, unfortunately. So you're really not going to economically damage them.
No.
No.
No, they'll do is put you down and put some sheets over the seats anyway.
No. And then they'll just punish you because in the event that we do end up in the playoffs, you won't be able to get a ticket because they'll see that you didn't come to the games and they'll put in another one of those stupid things. Remember that when they tiered out the tickets and you couldn't qualify if you weren't actually in attendance? It didn't matter that you'd spent the money. It mattered whether your butt was in the seat. I mean, that was wild.
To be honest, I haven't got a clue why put so much required in players' contracts is absolutely insane. Well, to be fair to 49ers, right? We don't know, right? I think they already knew personally, but until we see proof that they did know or didn't know, it's just people's opinions. I do think they knew what them contracts were, though. They should have done. Jammy, little treasure back in the house. Big up, Jammy. Big up, Jammy. Hope you're doing well, mate. Has anyone got out else to want to say on this one, Jess?
No.
Danny, big up, Danny. Just got back from sunny.
Big up to Danny. Fabian Scher's been sent off for Newcastle.
Wow. Have you got all else you want to add to this, Renee, love?
No, I'm sorry.
But then pull your finger out your ass and get some signings over that line. A good point under difficult circumstances, but we have to now back facts, get some players over that line, and we move to Sheffield Wednesday on Friday. And hopefully we can get that 3 points, and we're unbeaten and a clean sheet today. But
I agree.
That's
Well,
it.
hospital went okay, Jess.
Not really, Danny, but we move there.
Not bad, Danny Ings, but would the fans want him?
Problem with Danny Ings is he's on £125,000 a week. I just don't see that happening.
Is he still at West Ham, Danny Ings?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Brown, big up Michael. The championship is up and down league. Portsmouth who scored 3 against and drew 0-0 at home against the 10-man Luton Town from mid first half. Middlesbrough beat Leeds Middlesbrough beat Leeds, lost 1-0 at Derby.
What kind of news and that?
Big up news. Hope you're doing well.
What kind of news?
Burnley 2-0 up now.
I'm just making sure that I haven't missed any names. Big
Afternoon.
up. I hope you're doing well. I think the fan base are hard on Farker and the 49ers. Orton as majority shareholders were drawing up contracts before Farker joined. I agree with that part, but not going up. We knew that we could lose Krug, Rutter, and Nonto. But they could have renegotiated them contracts, Michael, if you know what I mean. And the 49ers must have known what were in them. But bloody Burnley 2-0. Wow. Oh, it's Rosie.
Hey,
Big
Rose.
up Rosie.
Right, well, Jess, have you got what else you want to say, love, before we start letting people go so we can get ready for your stream later on? We'll get something to eat and stuff, and then.
No, mate, I am. It was a disappointing result for me, but we moved. Clean sheet, like Rennie says. Good point on the road, but we must back Daniel Farker now, and we move to Sheffield Wednesday on Friday night. Hopefully, we can get 3 points on the board.
Right, well, Lee, do you want to come round and thank everyone in chat and thank you for your lovely guests? You got 2 beautiful women on there.
Thank you for watching.
Not about that.
Thank you
All
for
right,
having us.
one beautiful woman and other ones.
Oh, dog.
No, I can't call you an old dog anymore. New dog, maybe.
Oh, dog. It's all good.
Old dogs new. Farker's like an old dog. You can't learn him any tricks either. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Lee State of TV. Until next time, guys, take care. Have a great day. We'll see you all on Jesse's channel tonight.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.